Who watches the watchers? Welcome to Gadget Blues. This is KC, and today we're doing a quick riff of the Netatmo Welcome indoor security camera with face recognition features. A quick riff is our series of short reviews where I just cut through the BS and tell you whether a product performs as advertised. In this case, it's a little bit of a mixed bag because while their advertising may have exceeded their reach a little bit, this is still a useful device, and I'll get into that. I'm not going to show you the app and the web features of this because this has been covered in Netatmo's videos, and it all works just fine doing the intended task. The flaw, if this device can be said to have a major flaw, is in the face recognition. And I think that is something that is not a problem with this particular device, but a problem with face recognition in general. The big selling point is that the Netatmo Welcome will see your family members' faces when they come home and tell you via alerts on your phone that they have come home. So if you have a latchkey kid or you otherwise just want to keep track of comings and goings in your house, this can recognize the faces of the folks and send you a little update via their notification in the iOS or Android mobile application. And that works fine except for the face recognition. The problem is that people's faces don't look the same all of the time. When I would come home from a bike ride with my cycling goggles and my helmet on, it would not recognize me. When I was wearing a sweatband from working on the bike trainer, it would not recognize me. If I was wearing sunglasses and so forth, it had issues. You can go through the app and say, okay, this is someone's face, that is also someone's face, that is also someone's face, and add those to the database. Well, there's a limit to how much you can do that because at a certain point you're going to be saying that everything is someone's face because it comes up with just dozens and dozens of variations. And it gets annoying after a while to be putting in these different variations of the face and hoping that it will recognize them. I suppose this is good news for those that think that their government is spying on them and will use infallible face recognition to track them everywhere they go. I think that the Groucho Marx disguise is going to poke a hole in that theory pretty quickly because that's all it takes. Just a little bit of a fake mustache or a strange pair of glasses and it will miss the recognition. Now, that isn't a fatal flaw. It sounds like I'm saying that the product is not working as advertised. Well, their advertisement has a little bit of hyperbole about how reliable it is. The issue is that this will be much better in saving your time than any other surveillance solution that doesn't have face recognition. Let me get into that a little bit more. I knew that this technology was not going to be 100% reliable, but I decided to give it a benefit of the doubt because I had used the Netatmo weather station, which has been reliable for years and a great addition to my life. If you are someone who goes outside a lot for gardening or bicycle riding or running or whatever, and you really need to know what the weather's going to be like, what the weather is right at your house instead of what the Yahoo Weather Service says is in your area, then this is a terrific unit, and I'll have a more in-depth review of that later. But suffice to say that it's great, and so I had enough faith to get another Netatmo product, the Welcome camera. So the Netatmo Welcome face recognition is only, let's say, 80% accurate. Now that's just a ballpark figure. Your mileage will vary wildly depending on how consistent your family looks from day to day, if they wear sunglasses and hats and all of this sort of thing, and how many variations you program into the app. But that's still head and shoulders above what you would get with another type of surveillance. Let's say you have a generic surveillance system using regular IP cameras or a cloud-based system like this Logitech. Those will send you an alert on your mobile device whenever they see motion. Well, that's going to be any kind of motion that it sees, not just faces. And so you're going to have to go into the app each time you get an alert and see if it was motion that you're interested in. Is it your family member getting home? Is it an intruder? Is it a pet or other noise? And all of those are going to cost you time. So you shouldn't expect this device to have foolproof face recognition. What you should expect is that it saves you 80 or 90% of the visits to your mobile device to see what the alert was. Because when it works, you'll see, hey, Karen seen when your wife gets home. And you don't have to open the app and see the footage unless you want to see her walking in the house. That is a big time saver. So while it's not 100% accurate, it doesn't have to be 100% accurate. You'll still have to open those rare times where it says unknown face seen and go in, and you'll be able to tell, oh, it was my son or it was my wife. But you have saved the rest of those visits to the app because it did recognize their face. So it doesn't have to be 100% accurate to save you a lot of time. A couple other notes about placement of this device. It's a really wide angle lens, sort of like a GoPro. And in my case, there was no electrical outlet. This runs off of USB power. It has Wi-Fi and wired Ethernet. There was no electrical outlet near the front door, so I had to put it a little bit inside the house in a position that overlooks part of the living room. Now, if there is a television anywhere within this like 170 degree-ish field of view, it will pick up faces from the television and alert you to them. You don't want that happening because you'll get all sorts of false alerts from it. So in my case, I had to kind of open the Live View app and fiddle around with a specific position of it until I just barely cut off the view of the TV so that it would not give me those false notifications. In terms of Wi-Fi connectivity, it's been 100% solid. It has never dropped off of the network. It's never had any freezes or reboots. So from a device perspective, pretty much 100% reliable. Similarly, I didn't have any issues setting it up. The app was very straightforward and the pairing worked perfectly. So the process was hassle-free. The only caveats are those of the placement that I mentioned and of the not 100% face recognition. But other than that, great little device, time saver. If you go into it with the right expectations, you'll have a good time. And that's it for today's Gadget Blues. I hope you enjoyed this look at the Netatmo Welcome face recognition camera. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and we will see you in the next Gadget Blues. And that's been this Gadget Blues. Please like, surprise.